First of all, Karen O'Neill asks, with the $699 price of the PS5 Pro, do you think Nvidia and AMD are seeing this as a chance to attract new customers? How do you think this price point could impact next year's CPU and GPU price points? With Xbox dwindling as competition, it feels like Sony is now more directly competing with the likes of Nvidia and AMD, and it could result in PC gaming being a better place for price per performance. Retro Sean asks this question. Dear DF, thanks for the coverage. Unlike most, I don't think the price point is too high. Is it that everyone has forgotten how expensive GPUs are? For a PC, the equivalent graphics card would cost about as much as the whole Pro system. Well, it's not quite that much, but I get the point.
Much, no.
Should gamers put their expectations in check? Well, I think, in the wake of the PS5 Pro announcement, Nvidia will probably be quite happy about the pricing. I mean, they've been relentlessly battered for the 40 series pricing for a couple of years now. So, it's kind of like highlighting a trend that, performance is increasing, but you're going to have to pay for it. Oliver, do you think that this is actually going to cause this kind of competition, a more sort of direct level of competition between consoles and PCs? Because I'm struggling to see it, to be honest.
I'm struggling. I think that if you go back 10 years and you were to say, hey, here's a $600 console, here's a $700 console, I think you would spur people to go to PC because it's comparatively possibly quite a bit cheaper there. Even for a decently capable computer, possibly it could be competitive. But at the moment, hardware is just expensive. Everyone's fighting each other over price all the time. There's just no making this hardware much cheaper, at least at the moment, not without some revolution in process technology or something. The processes keep getting more expensive. Cost per transistor not going down, like Rich always says. And things just get more and more expensive over time. So I don't know what you do about that. I think that you have to make gaming as a sector viable, and you have to make it attractive to people above non-gaming alternatives. That's, I think, the state of the problem at the moment. I think that everyone's feeling pinched by that. I think the cost of consoles goes up, but then you compare the cost of the PlayStation 5 to comparable PC hardware, and you're still getting a deal. So I don't know. It seems to me like I think it's still reasonable. I just think the state of the market is perhaps not reasonable.
Mm-hmm. Alex?
I don't think there's a direct competition because, if anything, all these PS5 games are coming out on PC. Like the multi-platform future, Microsoft's games are all coming out on PC too, obviously. So it's I don't think it's that. I think, like once again, earlier Oliver said it, there's just like two different beasts of people here regarding what you want to do when you play games. Some people just really want to sit on a couch and not think about much. And the PC at its current incarnation is less that. So I think it will push some consumers there. There'll be a competition for some consumers among them. But I don't think it's going to be so direct at all. It's just going to be happenstance when it does start happening for some people. Also, this is an optional upgrade. It is not the only PS5 you can get, right? So, like, if you really care that much, maybe this is your problem, but this is totally optional. You can still buy a PS5 or an Xbox Series S, so...
Well, and even that, like,
right,
lower-end PS5, even with the price hikes, it's still, like... You look at it compared to PC hardware, and it's still doing okay because, like, the cost of mid-range-ish or lower-end PC hardware is not getting that much better. So it's kind of, again, assuming you do see this competition and this choice for users between the two platforms, and I would maintain there is, like Alex said, a difference between the kind of person who's interested in a console and interested in a PC for gaming. I still think you're ending up with a situation where the PC is increasing, the consoles are increasing, and it all kind of washes out to some degree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's just a lot of work that needs to be done for the user in selecting and choosing a PC. They don't know that a 4060 is broadly equivalent to a PlayStation 5 GPU. Nobody's telling them that, well, apart from us. But you know what I mean? In terms of general marketing, it's like a PC is one thing and a console is another thing. But what we are seeing is that the price of the two things is kind of starting to converge. Now, you have to do a lot of acrobatics to actually get that PC pricing to deliver that same kind of value. And, not many people are going to be doing that. It would require a massive push from somebody like Dell or HP or
Right.
Lenovo to actually position a console up against a PC. There have been some initiatives in the past though where they've tried that. Do you remember the old tiny little Alienware console?
Yes.
The Alienware
Based on
Alpha.
NUC stuff?
X51 or something.
That the X51 was another one. The Alienware Alpha was a tiny
Oh.
little integrated machine which used laptop parts to create a kind of console-like machine. The X51 is actually more sort of an attempt to make a standard PC design into like a console-like form factor. Kind of had the GPU in the lower bay at the bottom there,
Yeah.
and then an ITX
With the
board in
riser.
yeah, and then a
was
mini
cool.
ITX board that kind of sat in the main component. I thought that was really cool and a potential way that you could do it. And I think they even tried to have some kind of software built in that would make the whole thing work easier on a TV. I think what is quite interesting. I mean, this would require collective will from the PC side of the business, right? It would require the likes of Dell, Lenovo, and Acer and whatnot to be able to produce these console-like machines. But it's also going to require something that I think is coming, which is Windows actually becoming a decent gaming operating system with a nice shell for console-like people to enjoy. So I think it's an interesting discussion point, but it's not just about the price. It's about the nature of the product and the ease of access, so to speak.